To week one of the fantasy football and football season. We are finally here. Welcome back. Missed you guys. We've got Jamie Pirogue. Is it Pirogue or Pirogue?
Brogue.
Got it wrong. You would think after all this time I'd know how to say it. But more importantly, we're back. We're better than ever, and we're ready to do some, cover some news, go over some injury news, some headlines, some hot topics, but also just, who you should start, who you should sit, any last minute lineup advice that's needed. Other than that, this is going to be a fairly quick show as it's just Jamie and I today. And also, I got to get out of here a little early, but I'll explain that more so when the time comes. With that in mind, Jamie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Jamie Perot. You see me last year on the show every Sunday. I'm just looking forward to first week of football, man. Get it started.
How are you feeling about the Browns so far this year? Optimistic?
I like them this week, but going forward, I don't have high hopes, man.
Hey, that's
Maybe 10 games at best, but I say about 9.
I can't really fault you there. I get that. I mean, our teams are pretty good at kind of beating us down. You know what I mean?
Yep.
With that in mind, what did you think of the Thursday night game?
I didn't get to watch a lot of it. I missed the beginnings. I was at work. But yeah, it was a good game, man. Like, obviously, there's going to be some issues with the receivers and on the Chiefs, but it's Mahomes, man. Once Kelsey gets back, they're going to have no problems. They could lose next week, but then they can win 15 straight.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I mean, I've been a big Jared Goff defender. I actually dislike the Lions as a Packer fan. I mean, let me say that first and foremost. But I really have been a believer in Jared Goff in fantasy football, and I felt like this was a game where he actually got some respect from the outside community. There's not a lot of love for Goff.
Yep.
He's
I was a Goff fan going into the season. He was one of my late sleepers.
I loved him last year. And Gladys, good to have you as always. Good morning.
Hey, Gladys. Love Gladys.
Yes, we do. No, it's always good to see her in the chat. Hope I appreciate all the doggo pictures. Thank you for those on Facebook and on Twitter. Can never get enough of those. No, I was really impressed with Jared Goff though. I think he kind of made a statement there. Obviously just one game, a long way to go. But for the most part, the Lions actually relatively lived up to the hype, and they they definitely had a good break with with Jones out on defense, with the contract situation, and then Kelsey with the injury. But we've done all week with the Thursday night, so we'll get a little bit into the Sunday news. So far, I haven't seen any updates, but we have Romeo Dubs and Darren Waller as questionable. We have Zach Moss as doubtful. Christian Watson, DJ Shark, John Mechie out. Cooper Kupp is also out. He's on the IR. And then Jonathan Taylor, of course, is on the PUP. Any others that I should mention?
Yeah, some are popping up on my phone now. We got Marquise Brown's healthy.
Brown's healthy. Okay,
yeah,
that's
Marquise
good.
Brown. We got Andrews is officially out.
Mark Andrews?
Yeah.
Oh.
Chase Brown's out. That matters. Fantasy, not really.
I'm going to have to be setting fantasy football lineups on my way down to Soldier Field today. Shit. Okay. Well, that's disappointing. Okay, Mark Andrews is one of them. I'm going to have more start-sit issues myself. Oh, my God. I have Mark Andrews in a few leagues. You just threw off my whole entire morning. Out of those for you, any major impacts, any guys you're looking at? I mean, Mark Andrews, obviously they have someone like Isaiah Likely. So, I mean, if you could last minute pick someone up in your redraft leagues, that's someone to look at, right?
Yep. Logan Thomas could be a good one. I like him this week.
You could also probably expect an uptick in regards to. Sorry for the background noise. My cat and my dog are wrestling behind me. But no, I would expect more volume towards the receivers. Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. Those are guys you might want to look at more as well. Then with someone like Mark Andrews out. With Green Bay, more specifically, I hope Dubs plays. I'm expecting a big game from Jaden Reed at this point. Do you have any thoughts with those guys? Do you think Dubs plays or?
Dubs, I don't know about him. I don't have any of him, but I have tons of Reed. I love Reed this year, man, and I'm trying to get him in my lineup. There's a few leagues where I can't put him in just because my starters are too good. But I have him in my DFS, every single DFS lineup, man. He was only like 3,000
Oh
on
wow,
DraftKings.
that's really good, especially for this week and relative to all the injuries because Malik Heath's hurt as well, I believe.
Yep.
Um, and now, with that in mind, what who is the other one? DJ Shark. That one's not really. John Mechie. I mean, were you expecting him anything there, or who are you looking
No,
at?
I wouldn't be starting John Mechie anyway right now, especially with the rookie quarterback.
Yeah, all those weapons are pretty down bad in Houston, unfortunately. In regards to outside of injury news, I mean, we did have the major headlines with the Joe Burrow extension. There was a Cesar Ruiz for the Saints signed a 4-year, $44 million deal. Nick Bosa got a nice big extension as well. And then Mike Evans, no extension.
Yeah.
Last year of his deal. So that could have some major fantasy implications. That's why I wanted to bring that one up more than anything because, well, Mike could definitely have with the change of scenery, he would definitely be a much better asset for those final few years of his dynasty, fantasy value. I'm sure you probably agree with that.
Yeah, I don't like Mike Evans with Baker, man. He's like Baker's like one of the lowest attempts downfield, and that's where Mike Evans thrives.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love Mike Evans, or I like him when he doesn't have the QBs he has now, or just the team he has now in general. Same with Godwin. I would like both if they were elsewhere.
Yep.
Um, with that in mind, though, let's go no further and let's do some start sits. Also, if you have any start sits, please feel free to put those in the chat as we go through these. Oh, actually, with that in mind, we've got Brittany. With
What's up,
Andrew
Brittany?
Tuttle, I have some predicaments at tight end. I have Kincaid, Dul- uh,
Dulcich.
Dulcich, Ferguson, and Schultz available. Which do you prefer?
This
Um, I'm
man.
going Kincaid. And I did this in a couple leagues already, and that's purely because if you have Kincaid, you probably put some sort of draft equity into getting him. And at that point, I believe that like you need to kind of be firm with your guns. If you paid that draft capital to get him as your backup, I think you need to go to him first and foremost. Especially because I don't necessarily love the matchups for any of the others. Schultz, we don't really know how he'll look yet, especially like Jamie already mentioned with Houston's offense. Ferguson, I like, but I still want to see more, and I don't. I got to see it with Denver all the way around. So I'd say Kincaid's probably the safest in my eyes. What are your thoughts
Yeah,
there?
like I won't start Ferguson in one league. I have to if Waller's out. I ended up just picking him up last night just in case. But I like the upside of Dulcich. I don't know how he's going to be used. I kept hearing he's going to be the Joker role, which does put up a lot of points. But Kincaid, man, he's got the most talent. He's got the most upside. So yeah, I would roll with Kincaid. I
I
agree.
view I view Kincaid as he's someone that should have should be what Gabe Davis was supposed to be last year. You
Yeah,
know, Gabe
like
Davis is supposed to be the dynamic duo next to Diggs. He never really flourished in that role. I mean, wasn't bad, but I think Kincaid could eventually be there. I mean, I don't love depending on a rookie week one of his career, but
yep.
with the injuries in mind, I would still play Kincaid over those
Yeah, I
other
mean
options.
Schultz can be safe because they could just use him as a safety blanket. But I don't want anything to do with Houston's offense, man. I'm not even starting Damian Pierce this week.
Yeah. No, I get because I had a similar start set actually that I was going to get into, and that was at tight end premium. Just my starting tight end was it. Do I do Kincaid at the Jets? Do I do Irv Smith at Cleveland? And then I had another league where it was Kincaid or Gerald Everett.
I
And
like Everett, man. He's going against that bad secondary.
yeah, that's my only concern with Kincaid, I guess, more than anything. It's the week one rookie production. I don't like depending on my rookies right off the bat, but also the Jets have a good defense, and
Yep.
that's my concern there as well. So that's where I almost want to say Jake Ferguson with Brittany's options earlier, but I don't know. I've still been sticking with Kincaid in all those and kind of hoping for the best, but don't love that.
Yeah, I mean, well, last year we saw Dulcic's first game. He was top 5 tight end that week.
Hey, I hope that's
So,
the case with Kincaid. I could use it with all these tight end injuries. Um,
but
no,
with the other one, yeah, what was the other one? Irv Smith, Kincaid, or who?
it was Irv Smith or Kincaid, and then it was
Oh, okay.
Kincaid or Gerald Everett. Um, but you had
Yeah, I would go with the targets. I think Kincaid will probably get more targets than Irv.
you had one as well for your start sits that was a wide receivers for a flex spot, I believe.
Yeah, which one was that? The
Pickens and your
Deontay or Pickens, man. Like I keep going back and forth because I got them in multiple leagues together. I don't know which one to start. Um, Ward, I don't know if I heard if Ward's out or not, but he could shut down Deontay.
I,
Uh, but Pickens, man, he's that downfield guy, and I don't know if
I
Pickett's
like
gonna have enough time to set and throw downfield.
I like Pickens. I feel like if you
Like
have him,
Pickens
you
this
gotta
week.
play him. Yeah, I like Pickens. I
Yeah, it
don't
just
know.
worries me, man, with that defense.
He's one of those guys where I feel comfortable playing, where I don't really stress matchups as much.
Yeah, because
Um,
he does come up with the ball and the contested catches and everything. So throw it up to him, he'll get it.
damn. So Mark Andrews is out. Darren Waller is questionable. Wow. My tight end room, my I have I have one lineup that's just down bad already. Um, I have Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and I have Christian McCaffrey or not McCaffrey, Christian Watson. All my dudes are out already.
Oh man,
Uh,
rough week 1.
good
That's why we
morning.
should start drafting until after week 16, man.
Oh yeah. Good morning, Doc. Good to see you as always.
What's
It's
up, Doc?
no, man, these are gonna be some. Oh wow, I am getting into some ugly route because now I'm gonna have to play. Here's a last minute one: Darnell Mooney or Tyler Algier.
Oh man, I'd go Mooney. I think, yeah.
Yeah, at least I
When
have
you got
some.
Bijan, Bijan's gonna come out like a beast.
Yeah,
Who knows
and
how much Algier's gonna get? Well, I want to see it first.
I don't mind Algier, but I think for the sake of being at that game, it would probably be nice to have someone playing out there because I mean outside of Jaden Reed in a couple lineups because I'm expecting big production from him week 1. I don't have anyone except maybe some Jordan Love or Justin Fields shares. Um, I don't know. I don't feel someone to keep an eye out for is Roshan Johnson. I'm curious
Yes.
to see how he's featured week 1 because I think that's a guy that will have more value as the season comes along, but won't necessarily be the feature back this week. But I'd like to see him get some reps. If he could get double-digit carries, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching him.
Speaking of Jaden Reed, though, I did have an option where I was trying to decide with him. It is for my third flex option in a 12-team Dynasty PPR. Mike, what's up? Good morning. Oh, my cat's knocking stuff over. Good to see you, Mike.
Mike.
Um, no, I had Jaden Reed at Chicago or Dalvin Cook at home versus Buffalo.
Oh, I'd go Reed all day, man. I'm not trusting Dalvin Cook, especially Brees is playing. I know they're going to split, but Brees is more efficient. So I would go Reed, especially with Watson out.
Yeah, that one's tough for me. I want to go Jaden Reed, but something about it. I'm definitely big on Dalvin right now. I'm not big on Brees Hall. I gotta see it. Like I think Brees Hall will be featured later in the year. I think they're going to want to try and keep him healthy. I think that's why they didn't sign Dalvin for cheap. It's not like, hey, here's a vet minimum. But Mike also, he was asking us. He said B Rob or Javante. So Brian Robinson.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, I'm going Brian Robinson over Javante because I heard that McLaughlin is going to get some reps. He's got P Ryan there. So
I would
three-headed
go B Rob. I'd
Yeah,
go B Rob just because that's Arizona as well. And I don't think Washington's great, but I think they'll have enough flow in their offense where they'll be able to score. They'll be in the lead. They'll be handing the ball off. And no, I would definitely go Brian Robinson on a day like today.
So yeah, I had another one with the Bears. It's Khalil Herbert or Brees Hall. Like I know Brees is efficient, but with him splitting, I just like Khalil Herbert this week, man. And I know it's not Roshan. Surprisingly, I'm not. I do have Roshan on the team, waiting on the back burner, but I think I'm going Herbert this week over Brees.
Yeah.
He's going to get the work. Like, even if he gets like 60.
I don't love either, but I would have to go Khalil as well. Yeah. No, I mean, that one's tough. Yeah. I would go Khalil. I don't love Brees right now, like I already alluded to. And with that in mind, I'd definitely probably lean in favor of Khalil. I think early season Khalil will get the reps. It's tough to really say how much, but, we're really just going for double-digit points here with some of these. You're not really aiming for, hey, I need 30 or 40. Hey, just give me double digits. Just produce for me. That's how I felt with David Montgomery in a few leagues on Thursday night. It wasn't a guy that I was expecting a lot from. It was just, hey, give me that touchdown and those 60 yards. It doesn't need to be sexy, but here's some fantasy points. And you get that from enough guys, some of these start-sit options, and that's how you win your weeks. Brittany had another one for us. It was Hollywood or Deion Jackson in the flex. Hollywood or Deion Jackson in the flex.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's PPR. I would probably go Hollywood. They're going to have to throw to somebody.
Yeah.
They're going to be down.
That one's tough. Man, that one's just a bad question. Like, that one makes me sad for both situations because those are two rough offenses right now. I'm going – I want to go Deion Jackson. I agree to an extent that they got to be throwing the ball somewhere. They got to be getting the ball up in the air because we're assuming Arizona's going to be behind against Washington. However, with Deion Jackson, I just think that he's going to be their primary workhorse right now. I mean, we don't know what Anthony Richardson is or will be week one, and I'd rather just trust that, Deion Jackson's going to get 20-plus carries, and it might only be 60 yards, but it could be a touchdown as well. It could be what I was describing with David Montgomery, where it might not be sexy, but it'll produce enough for you. Thoughts on that, Jamie?
Yeah, I like Evan Hall this year, but I don't think he's going to get the reps right away. So Deion is going to be the main focal point. Zach Moss is banged up. So he's going to get the volume.
Yeah.
So the safer play would be Deion Jackson, especially with what Clayton Tune's throwing.
Yeah, Clayton. And for me with Hollywood, it's just like I could see him having 4 receptions for 40 yards, and it's like I could see it being 5 for 100 and a touchdown too. But will he have that big boom touchdown or not? And that's where I'd rather trust the production of the running back there. Hollywood definitely has a bigger ceiling. So if you're going with more of a boom play there, I'd definitely lean in favor of Hollywood. But if you want the safe, higher floor, I'd go with Deion. Daniel had a question for us from Facebook saying Sutton or London full PPR.
We don't know the Judy situation, do we?
No. No. That one,
I'm pretty sure I have. I like them both. If Judy's out, I would probably go Sutton. But if Judy plays, I think I would go London.
I'm going Drake London. Week 1, I'm going Atlanta. It's against Carolina. I'm putting my chips in now, and if I get burned early in the season with the Falcons, I'll remember that later in the year. But for right now, I'm going to just, there's certain guys like London that you had to be aggressive on, whether it's dynasty, whether it's redraft, where you had to really take them in earlier rounds if you believe it in them. And if you're spending that kind of equity, I think they need to be in your starting lineup. Oh, and Daniel said Judy's out. But I like Cortland, but I want to see it. Like Denver is more of like a wait and see it offense for myself. With Atlanta, the guys, I'd rather just invest right off the bat. let's see. We got one. But with that one in mind, Daniel, I'm saying London. Jamie's saying Sutton. Um, but I don't think you can go wrong either way. I just think with the kind of capital you probably invested in London, you should probably be playing him off the bat to start the year. Now we got Mike over here. He's saying Gainwell, Zeke, Parker, or Irv Smith. Pick one.
I don't think it's not going to be Irv Smith.
It's between the running backs. It's between Zeke and Gainwell.
Because Stevenson's got the diarrhea issue, right? Is that what it was? That's what I heard. I don't know, but so Zeke,
they're on an adult diaper. He'll be good to go.
I do like Gainwell, but I don't want to start any of the Eagles just until we see what the split's going to be. We know Zeke's going to get at least the goal line carries. He's going to get 45, 50% probably of the carries.
I'm going Zeke.
Yeah, I'd lean Zeke just for that touchdown.
I'm going Zeke. I'm just going to trust that he's going to find his way into the end zone or find his way into producing for me at some point, especially early in the year. I would say my concern with Zeke more than anything isn't workload, it's health. I think him and Ramondre can both eat if they're both healthy. So that's where I think it's a safer play, but I feel more comfortable in trusting Zeke there. 18-team league, that's not a bad option to have because that's definitely deep rosters. Let's see, we got NBA rigged over here.
What's up?
What's up? How are you doing? No. Let's see. The other one I had, you said it's a nasty decision either way. I've seen worse. I've definitely seen worse for 18-team leagues. Not doing too bad. Let's see. I had another one. This one is not very fun. This one I have a first and second flex. I'm trying to decide between Amari Cooper, Mike Williams, Mike Evans, or DeAndre Swift. So Cooper, Williams, Evans, Swift.
Well, let's eliminate Swift. Just like we said, I don't want to start any of the running backs over there. I do love Mike Williams this week. That's going to be a high-scoring game. Could be back and forth, shootout, bad secondary. So Williams is definitely one of my starters. Between Cooper and Evans, though, man, I don't know if I want to trust Baker, but I don't know if I want to trust Deshaun.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would rather put my trust in Deshaun. At least there's upside at the QB position if I'm depending on Cooper, while I don't really see much upside when I'm leaning in favor of someone like Baker. I don't hate Mike Evans this year. I mean, we've seen him produce with underwhelming quarterbacks in the past, so I think people need to keep that in mind with someone like Mike. But still, I have it where I'm leaning in favor of Amari and Mike Williams there, and Mike Evans and DeAndre Swift are on the bench. We do have another one as well from Daniel. Daniel was saying, pick one full PPR. Mostert, James Cook, Antonio Gibson, Rashid White.
Ooh, you just got to pick one?
Yep.
I like all of them. I'm going to eliminate James Cook.
I'm going White.
Yeah, I wish I could pick two because I would go Gibson and White, but I have a league where I actually had made that decision, and I'm starting White over Gibson. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't love any of them, but if I'm picking one that I feel best about this week, that would definitely be Mr. White.
Yeah, I know Baker loves to dump off to his running backs, man, so he could be the leading target.
Oh, and we've got NBA Rig said, let's see. Prediction final score Cleveland, Cincinnati. Ooh, that one's tough. One is tough.
Why don't we bring it up now because it was one of my bets that I made.
Yeah.
Okay, so I took the Browns straight up over the Bengals at plus 110. I think they're going to pull out the upset. There's a stat where if Joe Burrow gets sacked twice against the Browns. He's never beat us. And we've beat the Bengals like 4 out of the last 5 games. So I'm taking the Browns straight up. I don't know the score. Score's probably going to be like 24-21 maybe. It could
See,
be higher than that.
I don't like. So when I was going through my bets, this was a game that was a do not touch for me. So it's funny that NBA Rigged asked about this one specifically because this is one I didn't feel comfortable making a pick on. However, the bet I did like for this game was the over under 46.5. With that more specifically, I like the under there because Jamie, you just gave us a score that would put us at 45.
Yep.
Like even that, I mean, I still like that score, but to me, I could see this being a 2017 game. You know, I don't expect a lot of offense. I expect Nick Chubb. I expect Joe Mixon. I expect just a lot of just not very sexy offense, a very well-rounded defensive game on both sides. And with that in mind, I'm definitely going to lean in favor of the Browns. I like their defense a little bit more. So I'm going to pick the Browns. But if I had to say one player on both sides, I'm definitely going Nick Chubb for the Browns. I mean, that's like,
That's given.
yep, that's who I think is going to be the primary guy. But on the Bengals, someone that I like as more like a sleeper, maybe an anytime touchdown guy, might be someone like Herb Smith. I like him. I've wanted to see him on a more passing focused offense. I know he was with Minnesota, he never really clicked there, but we've seen other guys kind of just come in out of nowhere for 1 year stints in Cincinnati and perform. I'm hoping that can be this year with Herb Smith as well. With that in mind, I have a parlay as well. And like Doc was saying here, please like the stream if you haven't already. We are working hard for you. We always appreciate any of the support. So thank you very much. And yeah, you're not kidding. You really do only ask hard questions. So thank you for that. So you said Cleveland over Cincinnati and Irv and Chubb. Yes, that is what I'm saying. But the main parlay I liked actually. This one I went a more conservative route. We did a 2 parlay teaser. So rather than just being aggressive, and while I think both of these teams will win outright, and I think that they should cover their spreads. I took alternate spreads. Right now, the Vikings are at -4. I took them at -3.5 at -143. So nothing sexy there. I did bet that straight up. And then I took the Jaguars -2.5 when right now the Jags are at -3.5. So essentially, Vikings need to win by 4 or more, and the Jags need to win by 3 or more, and that parlayed together. I have that at plus 161.
I like it.
So yeah, Jags need to win by 3 or more against the Colts, which I feel good about, and the Vikings need to win by 4 or more against the Bucks, and plus 161.
I mean, it's free money right there, man.
Yeah, tried to, I've been doing a lot of bets lately and really just trying to do the baby ones. They're not necessarily as sexy or flashy, but they hit a lot more. And that's the important part, right?
Yep.
No, with that in mind, you got any other start sits? I think we
covered them all. Gibson or Elijah Moore? I think I'm leaning Gibson.
Yeah, I would lean Gibson there. I like Elijah Moore, but that's still one of those where I kind of want to wait and see before I'm depending on him to produce for me.
Yep.
But we are going to wrap up early today, folks. It is going to be a little shortened show as Dan is not here with us, but also I have to head on out to go to Soldier Field for the Packers-Bears game. Go Packers. I hope for nothing more than just the Bears' demise today. I can't wait. It's going to be awful. But thank you as always, everyone, for joining. Jamie, thank you as well for being here as always. Also, with that in mind, I would like to say before we go, our little ad read. Whoever you're picking this week, make sure to lock it on Underdog with the code GF2. Underdog is currently giving one free mystery pick'em special to New Year's on top of a deposit match of up to $100. Underdog is exclusively giving this to new customers only. Claim your mystery pick'em special plus a deposit match of up to $100. All you need to do is sign up on Underdog, make a deposit, and head to a lobby and find out which player special you received. And with that in mind, Jamie, where can people find you on Twitter?
Jamie Perot, just made it simple in my name. I'm also over there on Facebook at the Fantasy Football Discussion Group. Always up in there, ask any questions you got. And then right here, Sunday mornings, and then Tuesday nights on the cheat sheet.
Looking forward to it. And one more before we go. We've got NBA rigged. Any prediction between Giants, Dallas for you? If Waller plays, Waller is my guy. If he doesn't play, then I'll probably just lean on Saquon.
Yeah, if you're in a pickle, I mean, you could put Bellinger in if you have him, but I wouldn't really expect much.
Oh, and yeah, thank you. I will have a great time. Very sad about my boy Christian not playing. Really wanted to see
Hey,
him.
at least you get to see Roshan live his first game playing, man. I'm jealous.
Hey, I get to see the start of the Jordan Love era.
Yep.
That's all I mean, honestly, that alone. Definitely never would have thought my first time at Soldier Field would have been this game. But won't complain. But no, thank you everyone for joining. We will see you next week. We'll have a full hour next week, and we might go even a little longer because, I'm not doing anything else until kickoff usually. But thank you as always, and have a good day, everyone.